did a good job.
All right.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Good morning,
Hello.
all my fans out there. Good show coming out this morning. Sorry, apologize.
Dude, so Joe Rogan, his podcast, he has like all his sponsors at the beginning. It's like it's actually kind of obnoxious. It's like the first like 6 minutes.
So he rolls them through at the beginning.
Yeah. But you can just fast forward through them all.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
Integrity Insurance, the official insurance partner of Clearly Confident.
Yeah.
Your independent insurance agency for your personal and commercial insurance needs.
Yeah. We wish to become your trusted insurance advisor to handle all aspects of life.
Call us today, 770-475-4000, Charlie at integrityinsurance.net, Austin at integrityinsurance.net,
Yeah.
Sarah at integrityinsurance.net.
Yeah, that's right. If you can't get us there, always message Macy. It's always a good avenue as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listened to Ed Milet
Yeah.
podcast with Jesse Itzler, the interview.
Okay, I haven't heard that one.
Jesse Itzler's a stud. That guy, I mean, he's unbelievable. Does a lot of marathons, but he is basically the entrepreneur's entrepreneur. His story was he started all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Marquis Jets, sold a water company to Coke, but he was at this TED conference and he didn't know how to get in. He was like, how do I get a pass? And I'm like, hey, dude, you can't just buy those. Like, you got to, like, get those, like, a long time in advance. So he's like, all right, what do I do? Sitting in this coffee shop outside of the event, and he notices during break, everybody goes and buys muffins and coffee. So he's like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to beat everyone here and buy all the muffins. So he went the next morning, bought all the muffins. So when people came in for their break, all they had was coffee. So he was sitting outside the door, and he's like, hey, y'all want muffins? So as people come out, they would buy muffins from him, and that would get him talking. Met his first client there. He met, like, one of the founders of, I don't know, like eBay or something, and he needed a jet. And so there he goes, just like that.
That's
just like
good.
outside the box. Unbelievable. But yeah, I was very, very impressed with Jesse. And he's a local guy, part owner of the Hawks, you know.
God.
His wife is Sarah Blakely, you know, Spanx, you know.
Oh, okay. No, he started the coconut water.
Correct. Yeah, so it was Marquis Jets, coconut water.
Yeah.
He's got, you know.
I've actually met him at the Coca-Cola company when
There
he
you
was
go.
promoting Zico.
There you go. Yeah. He's legit, man.
Yeah, he's cool. I think he had a Navy SEAL live with him at one point.
David Goggins lived with him.
Oh, Goggins.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny when I first listened to him and he talked about he had a SEAL live with him. I didn't realize
That was Goggins.
It was because I know Goggins now.
Yeah.
But I didn't know like a few years
That was
ago.
before Goggins was like known to the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just crazy. He also lived with monks for a few years.
Dang.
So there's levels to the game, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the world is whatever you want to make it. You just got to go out and grab it, and don't be. He was basically saying, don't be scared. You know, he knew nothing about the private jet business. He was a poor like college kid, knew nothing about the NBA, knew nothing about water, but he was always willing to jump in and talk to people who knew that kind of stuff. You know?
think he must be humble too, because I met him, but I saw him. He was like wearing like the Zico he was like a mascot. And I remember I was like, who is this homeless guy they dragged out here to like wear this Zico mascot?
Yeah.
Someone's like, no, that's like the owner and founder.
Yeah.
Introduced myself, talked to him.
Hey.
Just like a regular dude.
Solid guy.
Yeah.
Solid guy.
I was like, that's
awesome.
cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, yeah, good morning to everyone. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday, April 9th. We are officially in Georgia in pollen season. It's wiped through the office pretty massively the last few weeks, but we're still here, still kicking.
Yeah, we're getting crushed.
We are getting crushed, but we're still alive, you know.
Instead of winter is coming, spring is coming.
Spring is coming and is here.
And we got yellow walkers everywhere.
Oh
out
my
there.
gosh, so many yellow walkers.
It's terrible. So we got men's Clearly Confident coming up May 4th, May 5th.
Yep.
Polo Golf and Country Club. Sign up.
Yeah, not to be confused with Augusta National, but it's
It's
close.
a close second. We tried to get Augusta. They were booked.
Yeah.
Double booked.
I don't know what they got going on. You're right.
Polo is basically 1B to Augusta 1A.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
I think signups are rolling in.
Yeah, I
Like
think
a dozen or so maybe.
Yeah, we've got some traction, and and it's going good. I mean, literally, we're going to talk about this a little bit. We got some specific examples, but the more I think about what clearly confident means to me personally, it means a little something different to everyone. There's so many different uses for it, but I think what Charlie was going to hit on is, like, it can be used in so many situations. Like, it's for anybody.
It's for everybody. Yeah. So, yeah.
And everybody.
Let's jump in. Actually, I got a Bible verse I wanted to share this morning real quick. Alex and I were kind of preparing for our married group tonight, and this is this awesome Ephesians 4:29. Ephesians 4:29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So, if we just kind of break that down into just to 3 little sections, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. So, clearly confident, all about the positivity, eliminating the sarcasm, just wholesome positivity. So, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. And then the second piece, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs. So we're all about building others up according to their needs, seeing things from their perspective.
Yep.
And then finally, that it may benefit those who listen, value and abundance, just benefiting others, seeing things from their perspective. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, man, that's spot on.
That is. That's the mission. And, when you think about it, like, who do you want to hang out with? Who do you want to associate with? Is it people that are always like sarcastic and kind of cutting you down? Or is it people that when you walk away from, whether it's a dinner or just a hangout, like, man, I feel good about myself. I feel recharged and refreshed, and it just kind of brightens the spirit a little bit. So last Thursday night we were at the house and Alex was on the phone with somebody. And she was doing like a Zoom call deal, and so I wasn't really listening, but I was just I could hear it. And so somebody on the phone said, hey, I'm just not a salesperson. I'm the furthest thing from a salesperson. And I just thought, like, man, what does that mean? And the person who said that, I mean, really like high level. It was the call was related to like dermatology and like this physician's assistant, like professional organization. Uh-huh.
And the woman, she's involved at a state level. She's involved at a national level. I think she actually teaches.
Oh, wow.
Like just like a high level smart person. And just to hear her say, I'm not a salesperson. I'm the furthest thing from that. And I was just like, that's like a weird mentality to have.
Sure.
And so she's not a salesperson in the sense that, like, her income, I guess, is not directly related to like selling widgets. But it just got me thinking when Macy was like, "Hey, can you speak Tuesday?" It hit me last week when I heard her say that. I was like, "Man, who is Clearly Confident for?" And it's really for everybody.
Exactly.
It's for everybody. And so, we're doing the all men's, and really the reason that we're doing the all men's is just to get the men involved. Macy's audience is probably 90% female, so 90% of the folks involved so far have been female, but we're trying to get men in the game. So we're all in sales. Leadership is sales, but anyway, so we're trying to get folks in the game. So who is it for? So it's not gender specific, right? I mean, it's for men, it's for women. Folks are like, is it manly to take Clearly Confident? And I start like, is it manly to get a college degree? Like, men get college degrees, women get college degrees, MBAs, it's everybody's getting them. So it's like, so just to clear up any confusion, like, it's for everybody. It's not gender specific.
No. It's not like we're doing like basket weaving during intermissions or anything like that. This is to teach you how to succeed in certain, if not all, areas of your life, and it applies to everything. But it's like for anybody who wants to have an impact on anybody they're talking to, whether it's 1-on-1 or 1 on 1,000, whatever your audience is, that's what it's for. Honestly. And
it's not age specific. No. Whether you're starting your career, middle of your career, changing careers, it's for anybody. If you're always got to be learning, growing, developing, and you're never too old to get some new tools in the tool belt and sharpen the tools that you have.
That's right.
So age is not a factor. And then in terms of like your career, I think it doesn't, it's not career specific. We had Drew, who was on Clearly Confident Live last Thursday morning, he did a good job, him and Loy.
Yep.
He is, I think, a staff accountant or staff auditor at an accounting firm.
Mm-hmm.
So furthest thing from that like sales role
Sure.
in terms of like his compensation is not based on his production, but he was like, man, I benefited from Clearly Confident so much,
Yeah.
and just my interaction with my clients, with my team.
Sure.
Whether you're trying to get that promotion, like with your manager, and being an auditor it's a tough gig,
Yeah.
And
You've been there, done that, right?
Yeah, been there, done that. People, in case you're wondering, people don't love auditors. It's weird, but you got to come in there, request all this documentation, and then you got to review it and tell them what they did wrong, so people don't get excited about that. But you have to communicate to them with confidence why you need the things and why you're doing what you're doing. Macy and Alex's cousin Richard, we're talking to him this past weekend, and he's getting into real estate. If you're in real estate, and he met with some guy who owns some real estate firm and was like, right, he was like, give me the playbook, like what do I need to learn or know to succeed. And the guy's number one thing was like sales training. Macy mentioned that in her story, but so we have doctors who took it. So it's not gender specific, age specific, career specific, and if you go read the testimonials, they're great. I was actually just reading them this morning just to kind of refresh, and people talk about like their professional, like it's been helping them in their business, in meetings. I think one woman talked about it helped her like communicate with another like mom and in relation to like their kids or the PTA or something. So it's really for everybody. Everybody needs it. This is so good.
And what Clearly Confident is not, it's not a here's what you do, this is going to work every time in every situation. That's not what it is at all. Clearly Confident is maybe like a blueprint or like a general outline of ways you can use certain techniques, specific techniques in situations, but you have to kind of make it into what it needs to be for you. For me, insurance, I have the ways I go through certain things, but that's not going to necessarily be the exact same when you're talking to your kids or, a friend or something like that. But Clearly Confident is just the start. Like taking the course is just a start. It's really a lifetime of taking the material, keep digesting it, keep practicing, and before you know it, you'll be saying things and someone will be like, what is that? Where have you? I've never heard it put like that. And then you'll think, oh, learn that, from Loy or Macy and Clearly Confident. It's just how it is. I mean, even us, we start doing some of that stuff now, and it's become normal, so we don't think anything of it. But somebody who hadn't heard it, they're like, wow, that's a unique way of putting that. And it's like, yeah, well, that's what we know. That's how we know it. So it's good. Yeah. So what I was are you?
That's all,
so
all the points I wanted.
I was just going to talk about. I was reading an article in an Economist magazine, and it was talking about basically traits to be a leader. What and in this particular situation, they were talking about some the Brexit. I'm not going to get into all the details. It's basically. Great Britain is trying to pull away from the EU and Europe. It's a bunch of fun dry material there. But basically, the leader, what qualifies as a good leader, is not just a big ego or really intelligent or anything like that. It's a little bit of everything, but the main thing that it takes to be a good leader is being able to get people to see your perspective. So get people to come on your side of the table, look at it through a different lens, and then collaborate together to come up with a solution to whatever the goal is you're trying to do. And if you're not able to successfully have a conversation that moves the needle to get people to see your side of you, it's not going anywhere. People inherently do not like change. And so to get people to consider the thought of change, you have to picture certain things that appeal to them in certain ways, just so they can see the light, if you will. So it's just that is a real world example of what's happening right now. Is some people aren't able to clearly communicate with some of their peers, and it's causing log jams in the process. And also specifically for me. I'm in insurance sales, so I have a lot of interaction with potential clients, and I have the blueprint, the Clearly Confident blueprint of step 1, step 2, step 3, making sure you kind of walk the prospect through the sales steps to make sure they're going to be a good fit for us, we're going to be a good fit for them, etc. An account I was working on earlier this year, I can look back to it and say, you know what? I assumed when I shouldn't have assumed, and I jumped from, basically I skipped step. I went from like A to D, thinking we didn't need to go through that because everything was fine. We were going along the way. And because I didn't do B and C, it came back to bite me. I ended up not writing the business. And so I don't know what it was about that one. I was like, holy cow. I guess Macy and I might have talked about it. I was like, there it is right there, real life, just me not going through the steps, kind of getting lazy with it. But the truth is it works. I mean, this stuff, like, making money means a lot of things for a lot of different people. But for me, I try to create freedom for me and my family, and it allows us to give to things and just kind of live life how we want to and not be under pressure. Well, Clearly Confident has allowed me to have more success in sales, which in turn leads to greater possibilities of income and just the lifestyle we want. So as a man, as the leader of the household per se, I feel like that is a skill that I have to have.
Sure.
I don't want to have to put pressure on anyone else to do what I feel like is my job. And that's just what it means to me, but that's kind of what gets me motivated to play by the book.
Yeah, and like we said, I mean, we're kind of in more direct sales roles,
Sure.
So like income is based on production, but like even like I said, for those that are not in those direct sales roles, it still is beneficial.
Absolutely.
Whether it's just the mothers out there, if you're the staff accountant, if you're in real estate, we've had the doctors. I mean, in every role, and it's like the folks that I interact with, I hope that I wish that they would take Clearly Confident so
Sure.
that they could create that value in abundance.
Right.
It's like I went to the doctor last week. We were talking, the pollen's been getting to us, and I'll tell you what, those staff, doctors need it, the whole staff needs it, and there's companies that train them up, but it's like, it can just make or break the experience.
Yeah.
Like when I go to the doctor, I expect him to know what he knows, right? Like that's just like a given.
Right.
Know how to fix me and diagnose my problem.
Right.
But then make it a good experience, communicate, see things from my perspective,
Sure.
Explain the benefits and their staff as well. Make it a good experience, because that's I'm either gonna say, hey Austin, man, go see my doctor. He would do a good job, or I'm gonna be like, man, I waited for an hour and a half. The staff didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure things out. They didn't care. Had a bad attitude. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I know one more quick story that I have related to that. I'm reading a book called Talk Triggers. I heard on EntreLeadership podcast, and there was a oral surgeon in the Northeast, maybe like New Jersey, New York, something like that. And it's very common for people to go to surgery, have questions answered there, and then the doctor will follow up with them after the surgery's done, the same day, just to make sure everything's healing properly. Well, this guy, let's say he had surgery scheduled for the next week. Every Saturday before the week started, he would call the patients that was planning on coming in to have surgeries and say, hey, I'm so-and-so from this office. I'm doing your surgery next week. Do you have any questions? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there any concerns you might have?
Yeah.
And the customers were so floored by that, because what doctor is going to call them on Saturday to ask those kind of questions? And so out of this area, there's like 100 oral surgeons, and he is the number one rated guy because of that simple little gesture. You know? I mean, it's just like, it's the little things that really stand out in the long run.
Oh yeah.
And we were just talking about people would drive 30 miles out of the way just to go see this guy because he truly cared. And it's that's kind of the stuff that Clearly Confident does, is kind of think outside the box. What can we do to add value and abundance to others? Yeah. So it was a good story. Great book too.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I've got. Do y'all have any questions out there, or anything we can do? Yeah, May 4th and 5th is coming up here, less than a month.
Building confidence, culture, and communication through effective techniques.
It's good. It's gonna get that tattooed somewhere.
Ooh, lower back?
I like somewhere visible I can see it.
Okay.
Maybe like inner bicep right here. Maybe
Yeah.
some different language. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
We'll get spicy with it.
That was sarcasm. I need to I'm just a natural comedian. I don't know. I can't help myself.
Oh goodness. Well, yeah. If y'all have any questions about anything, yeah, we're happy to help. If husbands got questions or anyone you know, we'll definitely help. So we'll make sure we take care of Carl, Catherine. Don't worry. I was reading that. He's in good hands.
I was like, is she talking about Carly? I was like, is that a typo right there?
Well, I'm not very good at reading when things are going up the screen like that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all have a great Tuesday.
Carl, looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Okay,
Georgia Southern guy. Yep. All right. Y'all have a good one. Take care. See ya.